Hello, today we are going to be talking about Music Theory 101, the staff, clefs, ledger lines, and note durations, and the types of notes. Let's start with the staff. The staff is the foundation upon which notes are drawn. The modern staff comprises 5 lines and 4 spaces. When you're counting your 5 lines and 4 spaces, make sure you count from the bottom. The bottom line is line number 1. And the first space is space 1. This is important as you move forward to identify and label the notes on the staff. Count from the bottom up. Every line or space on the staff represents a white key on the keyboard. This first white key to the left of these 2 black notes is called C. As you move to the right of the keyboard, you go up the musical alphabet, which we will talk about in just a minute. There are 2 clefs. The 2 most popular clefs are the treble clef and the bass clef. This treble clef here on the left and the bass clef on the right. Clefs assign individual notes to certain lines or spaces. Remember, every line or space on the staff is a white key on the keyboard. But what these notes are on the staff is determined by the clef on that staff. That means these lines in the treble clef are different notes than these lines on the bass clef. First, we're going to talk about the treble clef, also called the G clef. The line which the clef wraps around, shown in red here, is known as G. Any note placed on this line becomes G. The note on the space above G is A. Remember, there's not an H note. Our musical alphabet only goes to the letter G, so there are only 7 letters in the musical alphabet. There is no H note. Instead, as shown on the screen, we restart back at A when we reach G. The note on the line above A is B. This process continues all the way up each line and space following. We just ran out of room to place notes. What do we do now? Well, we use ledger lines to solve our dilemma. A ledger line is a small line that extends the staff when we run out of room. When the ledger line is drawn, we can now place the next line. See, we go line, space, all the way up to this space above the staff, meaning the next note is on a line. But there wasn't a line here before, so we added one to extend our staff up. Next, let's discuss the bass clef, also called the F clef. The staff line in between the 2 dots of the clef, here and here, this line in between them is the note F. We can now fill in the rest of the staff notes because we know when you go up on the staff, you go up a letter in the musical alphabet. And as you see here, when you go down a letter in the musical alphabet. But look, there's no note on this space here. But we know the next note down is F because this is A. The space below it would be G. So the line below that would be F because we go backwards in our musical alphabet as we go down and descend on the staff. Finally, let's talk about the grand staff, a theoretical staff consisting of 11 lines. But watch what happens when I remove that middle line. You see here, we have 5 lines on top and 5 lines on the bottom. 5 lines and 4 spaces is a staff. By adding a treble clef to the top staff and a bass clef to the bottom staff, we can see the relationship between the 2 staffs. The treble is on top and the bass is on bottom. Now look at how they're joined by this C note. Remember, this line that goes through the 2 dots on the bass clef is F. And if we go up line, space, in the musical alphabet, we hit C. Watch. F, G, A, B, C. And we reach that middle C. Now if we go down from this second line, G, that the treble clef wraps around, we have G, F, E, D, and we reach that C. So the bass clef and the treble clef both share this C. And that is especially apparent when shown in the grand staff. Because they share it, the C is commonly called middle C because it corresponds to the middle staff line on the grand staff that I removed earlier.